Hi.
Good, good. All right. So nice to speak with you. I know you have cleared our previous rounds of interviews, which is good. I am the director of our AI ML group here in Intuitive Cloud.
Okay.
Um, so um, they put you on my calendar for interview. Um, so I think you have gone through the technical one. So mine is not going to be that much technical. Um, I'm going to start by introducing myself, and I'd like to hear a little bit about your background.
Sure.
And I'll let you know about the types of work we have and want to learn about your experience in that area. Um, so I have about 24 years of experience, starting back in the days of statistical modeling. So it's I'm coming from those days, and been through the journey till today, across different verticals. I do have a bit of academia. Also, as my name suggests, they put the doctor in there, but it's not something I usually like to. I think it's more for clients, not for myself. But I've been teaching in the university for about 5 years, so pretty active on the research side also.
Okay.
Um, so with that, our group is pretty much verticalized in banking and financial services, healthcare and life sciences, as well as industries, oil and gas, and retails, and all those other areas. Um, so, with that, could you first tell me who from our team interviewed you, and then walk me a little bit through your experience and background?
I don't. There were three rounds that I
Uh-huh.
cleared. First two names I don't know, but the
Uh-huh.
third one was Preetham who took my interview.
Okay. All right. Can you walk me a little bit through your background? So, what have you done education wise, experience wise?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Charmi Dholakia. I bring close to 15 years of experience in driving machine learning and AI projects. I did my MSc statistics. So I also come from like pure statistical modeling background,
Mm-hmm.
and I have recently moved into AI, and I have worked across different domains like banking, IT, healthcare, geospatial systems, advertising systems, real estate.
Mm-hmm.
These all domains gave me projects into statistical modeling, into machine learning, into AI. So, in my very recent role, I was working as an AI associate director at First Living
Mm-hmm.
Spaces, and I led there the development of a multi agent generative AI powered real estate recommendation engine and a chatbot. So, it was a real estate chatbot basically that I was creating.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, if people ask that, do you have a two-bedroom hall kitchen flat? So my chatbot has to go through the properties, search those properties which are matching to the requirements of the person, and then suggest those properties or recommend those properties to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the real estate chatbot that I was creating. It had a lot of AI components in it,
Mm-hmm.
and caching and a lot of other things. And before that, I was working at Amazon. At Amazon, I was working as a senior data scientist. I was into their image retrieval system. So basically, the project was that Amazon, being a very huge brand, and they receive about one. So basically, what happens is a lot of advertisers try to push their ads to Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and they receive like 150 million such ads every week. Now, advertiser can go and try to sell anything on Amazon, right? But they
Mm-hmm.
have certain restricted things, like for example, drugs, weapons, political products. So these are different restricted things that Amazon doesn't allow any advertiser to sell on their website. So for that, they have certain. Now, when we go on Amazon, what do we see? Like, suppose I want to buy a talcum powder. I see an image, I see the talcum powder's header, and I see certain bullet points. So this was the entire data set that I have. So I had this image data and certain text data with me. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, our job, I was in their image team. So they have certain image models and certain text models in place that detects if there are any such words that signify, weapon, or anything that is drug, or any politically abusive thing. Like, for example, somebody wants to sell a t-shirt that has a picture of Trump on it, and it writes that we don't want Trump in 2025. Now, we don't
Mm-hmm.
want Trump in 2025. This is a politically incorrect or an abusive sentence. So they cannot
Mm-hmm.
allow this t shirt to be sold on Amazon. So, how will they find out? Because it is 150 million ads. So, they cannot go and check one by one ad. So, these
Mm-hmm.
models have certain these kinds of NLP based things in it. And there are certain vision transformers. So basically, I was in their image team, so I was working. So this entire T-shirt image is converted into embeddings, and then we have the reference embeddings. So those are both stored into the vector database. We do a RAG pipeline on it, and we find using cosine similarity. Then we find out whether that particular image is really from the restricted image or not. It contains something restricted or not. So this was the kind of, and then if we find it, then if the image is really, that ad really consists of something that is wrong, then it will be flagged. It will not be allowed to be sold on Amazon website.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the whole project about. So I was my basically my job was to create the embeddings, build the RAG pipeline, work on the the vector database, check the accuracy. Now when I joined this project, the accuracy was 12%. So they were using one kind of embeddings. They were using Dino embeddings. So when I joined, I found out that Dino was not working very well, and I proposed another method which was vision transformers. So once we had this ConvNext model in place instead of Dino, it completely changed because ConvNext is self-supervised technique. It uses a different method to create the embeddings, and then using my method, then the accuracy actually increased from 12% to 67 to 70% accuracy. It went up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had also proposed that when you are having an image, like image with some text written on it, you should separate out the text and from the image rather than treating it as an image data. So separate out the text, uh, and then use text models on it, so that actually increased the accuracy to 95%.
Mm-hmm.
So this was my project with Amazon. I was also involved in certain pure data analysis projects also. Before that, I was working with pharma. In pharma domain, I built a regression model, a pure statistical regression model, wherein we had to predict whether a given medicine from my client, uh, if I give that medicine to the client, then he has to be readmitted in the hospital. What is the probability that he will be readmitted to the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
So this was the pharma-based client, and I had a lot of variables in it, like what is his age, his gender, what are his different types of other diseases that he has, how many days he was hospitalized, when he came, when he was discharged, who was the doctor, what was the prescription, what was the length of stay, everything. A lot of these variables they were there with me, and these all variables then helped me do the logistic regression. When it is a binary classifier that we do, whether he will be readmitted or he will not be readmitted, what is the probability score. So this was a patient readmission project that I had done.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I have also worked on very recently on an agentic AI project. So agentic AI. So now, I mean, as we have seen that people move from statistical modeling to machine learning to deep learning, and then people moved into generative AI, and now they're making a move into agentic AI, right? So
Hmm.
now the trend is to actually create the agents. So I was working with an insurance company, and this insurance, when we are doing like the filling up the insurance policy, then we have to give those forms to the insurance company. So these companies have certain PDF documents of our forms, and they also have certain SQL. So they maintain certain database in SQL. So now, if this was a chatbot that I was creating, and the chatbot had to answer uh, the questions that are answerable from PDF as well as from SQL database. So
Okay.
my agent that I was creating, this particular agent had to be so intelligent that it had to understand from where, which database, the PDF or the SQL database, the answer will be, and the question should be answered.
Okay.
So, and the agent also had to be intelligent enough to decide who was restricted to give that answer. Like, for example, somebody says, what is my policy number? Tell me my policy number. He asks the chatbot, what is my policy number? And can you tell me the buy sell policy? So, fine, the chatbot receives this question. So, now the first thing that and suppose he also asks that what is the policy number of that person? Say, suppose John. So now the chatbot has to intelligently identify that this guy who is asking me is not John, maybe he is Matthew. So he should not be given the policy details of John, because he is a he himself is a policy holder.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where comes in the role based access, actually role based access control, the RBAC that we say. So if the person who is asking the chatbot is himself a policyholder, then he should not be given the policy details of any other policyholder. But if he is the insurance agent, then under insurance agents there are multiple policyholders. So the agent can be given information of multiple policyholders. You know, so it is like
Yeah.
that. So the hierarchy is like that. So the hierarchy
Hmm.
was built inside the chatbot system, and the chatbot was my agent, the query planner agent, and the chatbot, the agent was made such intelligent that he would. So this was all based using prompt, using YAML files, using I was using Gemini. So this was
Hmm.
basically a using LLM and prompt engineering. I had created all this, and RBAC was the thing. So it would, inside the prompt we will write that these are the restrictions. This is what you have to work based on. Whatever is the role of the person, he can be answered. He should not be answered like that.
Sure. So,
And
what was the framework you used for it?
that was LangGraph that I was using.
LangGraph. Okay. Okay. So, okay. My goal is not to get into the technical details that much. I do. You have done interesting projects, a lot of which opens up a lot of questions in my mind. But let's not make it that um, detail. Um, so, have you done agentic AI in AWS? So, you have worked with AWS Stack to some
Yeah.
extent. Have you?
Yes.
Are you familiar with Bedrock?
Yes, I am familiar
Yeah.
a lot with Bedrock, and
Mhm.
also, like for example, this Amazon, when I was with Amazon, that time I was this image retrieval project that I told you. So here entirely, if you ask me only about Bedrock, then yes, I have used Bedrock. My LLM Mixtral was hosted on Bedrock that I was working for this real estate chatbot project. So I know about Amazon. So basically, this image retrieval project, the flow begins with I had the entire data set in my S3 bucket.
Mhm.
Then I used Athena to query the uh, query Athena based queries to extract the data from S3 bucket. Then there was Lambda. There were Lambda functions that I was using. So Lambda, whenever a new data comes in, the Lambda logs whatever logs in the image ID, the timestamp, the category, and it would store everything in my DynamoDB, AWS DynamoDB. Then I used AWS Glue. So there is a service of AWS Glue, and this Glue would do ETL jobs. So whatever images I had to resize, normalize, augment, and all these things that would perform using Glue, and then I would
Mm-hmm.
store it into a Parquet format and process it into S3 bucket, and then whatever their input size is there, the duration is there, all these will record count is there, that will be stored into CloudWatch. So AWS CloudWatch was used, and then I was using AWS step functions to orchestrate all my layers, and I was writing all my code in my SageMaker notebooks. And under SageMaker, when we go into inference and then we go into batch processing, so this batch basically I was having like 150 million ads, right? So it was not an easy thing to do, and that is why the I was using batch processing. So all this entire data set would be converted into small batches, and Amazon batch would then be used for converting it into Convinext embeddings.
Okay.
And yeah, so I have used CloudWatch, Glue, SageMaker notebooks, S3 buckets. I have used a model.deploy. So model.deploy would actually spin up the managed HTTPS endpoints inside the SageMaker, and it would then deploy it. So basically, it was used for model deployment.
Okay.
I have
All right. Thank
experience
you.
in AWS actually. Yeah,
Yeah, because you said the agentic AI thing you built was in
Langgraph,
GCP,
like
but you said it was Google. Was it in
Langgraph,
GCP?
Langgraph.
LangGraph. Okay. All right. Okay. I think I have a pretty good understanding of your background. I'm going to give you back 15 minutes. So, right. Nice to speak with you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Do
thank
you
you.
have any questions for me before you leave?
No, actually, I have asked all my questions, whatever the role related
Yeah, you
questions.
had enough interviews before. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
yeah,
I
thank
appreciate it.
you. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Thanks. Thank you. Bye.
ના એને કહું છું મારું થઈ ગયું. my interview is done. मेरा वो मिला
Okay.
ना, one thing I forgot to say वाला mail
Hmm.
that you got ना. I just wanted to tell him. He asked me about what do you know on Bedrock.
Hmm.
So I told him I know one thing, and then I was telling him about other things, but specifically Bedrock I'm working on Agent Core ऐसा. So any
So, was it like you were not focused on what he has asked you instead?
no, it was not like that. Interview went like pretty much what
Yeah.
he asked. What was
Okay.
his background? He asked me about what was my background, and then he asked me about what do you know? Have you worked on Bedrock? I said yes, I have worked on Bedrock. I've done this on Bedrock. On in AWS things I have worked on these things. So, did he give any feedback?
Not really yet. I will keep you posted, yeah?
I just hope I didn't just talk extra things. I feel.
So that I've been telling you this from really long. I don't want to disappoint you,
To
but
this,
if you feel that I've been telling you this, that you have to stick to what the panel or the customer is asking
yeah, this
for the
time I
numbers.
didn't even share my screen or say anything actually. I was just talking about my projects.
Okay, no problem. I'm gonna talk to Naveen then keep you posted, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, if
Okay.
today you can tell me, it'll be great.
Hmm. Hmm.
If you ask him.
Yeah, yeah, I'll keep you posted. Allow me a day or like I'm gonna